Hey guys, BitDisk here. We just wanted to tell you that we don't really have much to show for Project Dragon today due to the midterms and everything bogging us down. So, what we show you today isn't going to be much, but we hope... Made you look! Yeah, that's right, we actually got everything working. World generation, working. Physics, working. Projectiles, working. We even got some sick tracks for you to jam out to, baby! You really thought we'd go run BitDisk Direct without some crazy stuff? Yeah, no, buddy. I don't know what you were thinking. Cue the intro. Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of BitDisk Direct. We've made a lot of progress since last time, so we're not even going to run any bits with you. I mean, except for the one that we just did, but that's it, I swear. So, without further ado, let's just get straight into the content.
Hey everyone, it's me Noah here for the Project Dragon code update. So, what we're going to do is first I'll go over the major systems that I added to the engine. So right now this is just my testing class where we're testing everything. You may notice material. I don't think we had materials and textures the last time I showed this. And you may also notice physics body. Over the past week or so, I added the bullet physics engine. What this allows us to do is start doing basic gameplay programming. However, none of that is currently done at the moment. It's more just basic physics to make sure it works. Another thing we added was a prefab system. So basically what this does is it allows us to do proper instantiation and then keep track of the entity numbers for that. So I made a system that would load all of the assets once at the beginning, and then anytime we call these assets, such as in an instantiation, we just call it from here. This stores everything so we don't have to worry about loading times as much. Alright, here's what we have. You may notice, first things first, there's the gravity. So there's gravity. This here is a static physics body, so you can see I can't move it and I collide with it. Same if I throw some of these stuff here. So this is supposed to be like a basic projectile. Basically it just instantiates a bunch of cubes. Then as you can see they have physics. They are not colliding with the plane and they're not clipping through. They have gravity. So yeah, that's pretty cool. You'll also notice multiple light sources and textures. I think those are all new things from last presentation. I also added a basic GUI, which isn't great. It's actually very broken. However, it's there and that will probably serve as like a prefab editor later on. For the next 3 weeks or so, before we show the game for vertical slice in December, we're going to try to finish all our gameplay stuff. Once we have our sort of vertical slice finished, what we plan on doing is spending the next 4 months and really polishing, really improving performance, just doing as much as we can and just make this the best game we can. We think polish is going to be more important than just absolute number of features, so we're really going to spend quite a lot of time just really polishing our game.
So basically the bit is that our gameplay mechanics were too overambitious, but they were the main source of replayability in the game. So we decided to cut those back and instead focus our efforts on world generation to emphasize replayability in our game. World generation in Project Dragon will be semi-randomized worlds similar to that of Binding of Isaac. What we do is create 40 by 40 areas called nodes. Each node will be hand-designed with platforming and combat challenges in mind. What we then do is create a drunk walker algorithm that will randomly step through the level in a semi-linear fashion, placing random nodes as it goes, eventually reaching an endpoint where the level will end. This creates a random linear hallway for the player to explore. Think Binding of Isaac rooms, but without the door load times in between them. Then we connect each hallway with a room in between them. These rooms will be modified drunk walkers that will emphasize square generation over line generation. We can then fill these rooms with mostly empty nodes to make the combat challenge areas. Walls will then be made by getting the min-max of each Z node row, and placing walls at the end, stitching them together along the x-axis with more walls. Most combat in the game will take place in rooms, because we don't think we can make AI good enough to traverse full 3D platforming environments with random generation, and most platforming will take place in hallways because it's much easier to design a smooth loop and linear area rather than an open area. That's it for level generation.
Hi, I'm Mitchell and I'm going to talk about gameplay and combat loops for Project Dragon. First, I will start with the main mechanic of the game. Originally, we wanted to have a large, flexible combat system with abilities, ultimates, unique attacks and combinations, and more, but quickly realized that it was well overscoped. We have stripped away the main mechanics, and instead of having lots of semi-interesting attacks the player can do, we stuck to the main 4 attacks. Similar to an average FPS, each attack will represent a different gun type. Fire attacks will be a lobbed grenade launcher. Water attacks will be a precision sniper rifle. Earth will be your standard assault rifle. And air will be a knockback shotgun. We're looking into a swarm type enemy that can be taken down quickly with a wind blast. We also have long range snipers that can pin you down if you don't deal with them quickly. We are looking to make an exciting loop of constantly changing weapons that the player must learn to master the flow in order to beat Project Dragon.
Hey guys, Alan here. I'm here to show you the new animations I've created for the game Project Dragon. First off, I'm going to show off the Earth enemy. Here you can see his rocks on the side of him rotate around as they hover up and down as well, and the rock beneath him also hovers at different speeds. And the next one I'm going to show off is the Earth enemy. This is walking animation, I believe. Yep. So his claws move like a centipede, and his head also wobbles up and down. The last one I got is our hand model. I made a simple hand model, and since our player is going to look at the hand most of the time, I actually made it pretty high quality, or I try my best to, and I made a simple animation of him holding up his fist. And that's all I've got for the update. Thank you for listening.
Hey y'all, it's Chris here with another update on the soundtrack. A few tracks have been prepared, and although they're still in the early production stages and yet to have a lot of elements implemented, the general idea is still there. With track 1, I decided to go for a combat theme that feels more energetic and jazzy, while still keeping a hip-hop beat. Track 2 is more of a drum pop approach, and I intend for the full track to rely almost entirely on percussion. Track 3 is an ambient track, perfect creating that feeling of outside combat unease. While many things remain incomplete, such as instrumentation and overall production, I hope you are all looking forward to what Project Dragon's soundtrack has to offer in the near future.
Thanks, team. Before we conclude this episode of BitDisk Direct, we're going to go over the progress of a couple of our aligned components. Firstly, algorithms. We're currently in progress with adding both lerp and curve interpolation with speed control into our engine. Lerp is going to be very quick to add, however we're still looking for a use case for curve interpolation in our game. Locomotion control systems are implemented, but it's currently unpolished, and morph targets are also in progress. Noah's doing this for an intermediate demo assignment we have, so we're going to add it to our engine once we're done. Next is game design. There's no major technical requirements for game design, however we're making sure to integrate everything we've learned from the lessons and tutorials into our game. As for computer graphics, the ability to render 3D objects into our game through an OBJ loader has been completed, in addition to giving those objects textures and a dynamic lighting system. Finally, modeling and animation. We currently have 3 completely finished assets right now, all of which are animated. We plan to get all the animated assets out of the way first, since those are the major ones like enemies and the player model, the rest of which are going to be environment models. Over the last couple months, we at BitDisk have learned that it's better to have a smaller scope for our game with less features than to have an extremely big scope with nothing to show for it. So we're hoping that you're okay with some of the cuts that we've made to Project Dragon, and we hope that you're happy with the progress that we've made. That's it for the third and final BitDisk Direct for the semester. We hope you liked what you saw of Project Dragon, and we know you're going to love what we have come December. Until then, thanks for watching!